Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 5 of What's in Your Box. Today's a exciting one. It'll probably be a little longer than the other ones. This is probably one of my favorite categories of fishing, the medium diving crankbait box. Probably like one of my favorite boxes to go to any time. You know, if I'm struggling to put fish in the boat, besides a wacky rig, I'm probably going to be cranking one of these crankbaits. So let's go ahead, jump right in to what's in the box, and we'll get started on what my favorites are in this particular box. Alright, so to start it off, we're going to go over, Repla DT6. So in the Repla DT6, very, very old school bait. It's a balsa bait. So when I go medium diving crankbait, I'm talking anything that's not like a shallow, like anything probably over that 5-foot range to up to like 12 is what I would classify kind of in that medium diving crankbait box. So the first one we're going to go over, Repla DT6. I have a variety of colors in the box. This particular one I'm holding here is Demon Shad. You know, the DT6 is a balsa crankbait, so one of the things you got to be careful with on the DT6 is you can't just, you get a little grass on, you can't just smack it on the ground. You will break them. I don't think I've ever broke one, but they're definitely can be broken by just smacking them on the ground trying to get that. So a little more fragile, but they're super buoyant, so when they hit something, they're going to shoot up a lot faster than your plastic. Just a really, really tight wobble on these. You know, very, very good bait. You know, everybody should have some DT6s in the box. The next one we're going to go to is also another old school bait. A bait that I guarantee probably everybody's grandpa has one in their box, and that's a Storm wiggle wart. And so there's actually two varieties of wiggle warts that we're going to go through here. The first one being the pre-Repla wiggle wart, which is this one here. These ones were made before Repla purchased Storm, so these ones are generally highly sought after wiggle warts. You know, generally worth a good amount of money, even if they're not in great shape. And then you have the Storm wiggle wart, which is what they currently make now. So they have a different rattle between the two. You can hear that they're a little different. Overall, they look very similar. Really, the only way to tell a difference is on the bill. The easiest way to tell the difference is on the bill. It'll say wiggle wart if it's an old school one. The new ones stay Storm on the bill. Those are how you know that they're one of the older ones. So wiggle wart, always a good bait to throw, especially if you're in the state of Missouri, but pretty much anywhere you can throw a wiggle wart and catch fish. Really, for colors for wiggle wart, I mean, it's just crawdads. It's just variations of crawdads. Crawdads with red, crawdads with green, straight brown, browns and orange, browns and chartreuses. Really, that's all you need to know. So the next bait we're going to go over is it's a newer bait, but made by 6 Cents. It's called S-Curve, and so here's the S-Curve. They call it that because of the way that it swims. It's supposed to have some really erratic side-to-side action. So the first thing you'll notice with any 6 Cents bait, the paint jobs are awesome. They're really, really good paint jobs. They look awesome, so they definitely catch your eye as something that you'd want to purchase. But so far, I haven't thrown them a bunch. Look great and awesome. My brother actually had a really good couple fish down at Lake of the Ozarks in December last year. Definitely a bait that we'll be throwing more. I would put this kind of for a wiggle wart. It probably runs a little bit shallower than a wiggle wart or RkCrawler. Probably about the same as the DT6. It feels kind of the same as DT6 when it talks more like a finesse wobble. Wiggle warts and RkCrawlers have a lot harder wobble. This is a lot more finesse wobble. So if that's what you're looking for, the 6 Cents bait's probably where you want to go. Next in the box, we're going to go over RkCrawlers. So if you watch any of my other videos, I catch a lot of fish on RkCrawlers. There's actually 3 different sizes that we're going to pull out here of RkCrawlers, and so we'll go over these ones. So we'll start with the small ones. So with the RkCrawlers, they're just really, really designed to get in those rocks and kind of have that real steep dive angle after they bounce into a rock and really root around. in that. So this is actually a new size. This actually is a bait that I found. I actually never purchased one, but this is the new Storm RkCrawler 50. It's a smaller bait. It's shorter than the regular RkCrawler. It runs shallower. Haven't got to throw it much, but looking forward to being able to throw it and catch some fish. Got really sharp hooks. The next size is the Storm RkCrawler 55 MD, so that's a medium diver. So this is the same body size as the regular RkCrawler, it just dives a little shorter. So the 50 I would probably say is like 4 to 6 foot. This one's probably like a 6 to 8 foot, and then the RkCrawler is the 8 to 12 foot, I would say. I haven't caught a lot of fish on the 55 MD, but definitely have some in your box. They're definitely really good baits. So the last one of the RkCrawlers is the original RkCrawler 55. This was an 8 to 12, maybe 14 if you're really long cast with thin line. Really good bait. I mean, I've caught a ton of fish on a RkCrawler on multiple different lakes. As you can notice through the colors, almost all of these are also crawdad again. I don't even think I have a single shad color RkCrawler, wiggle wart, really anything is really not that shad color. I mean, it's almost all crawdads. So it's always really good to throw. The wiggle wart, like I said, or the RkCrawler dives real deep, really good action. It's just something you have to have. It's one of my most confident baits. I'll have one tied on pretty much year round. And then the last baits that we're going to go over, these ones are kind of close to not classifying as medium diving crankbaits, but that's just where I store them with. It's a Strike King Series 3 and Series 3 XD. I actually have a Series 4 in here too, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to stick with the Series 3 and Series 3 XD. We'll start with the Series 3. It's a very small crankbait, very short in size, runs at 3 to 6 foot range. I've caught a lot of big fish actually on such a little bait. These are the ones though with the Series 3 baits that I definitely, in Series 3 XD I go more of the shad color. So with the Series 3 it has a higher pitch rattle than like the RkCrawlers have that more deeper knocking rattle. This is more like the BB's rattle. And then this XD version of it is the same size bait in the body. It's the difference comes in the bill. You can see in the bill it has this upward angle to it, and so that actually allows it to dive down a little deeper and a little quicker. So it really gets down there and roots around. So Series 3's XD is another good bait. I don't throw them a lot because generally if I'm throwing baits in that range, I'm going to be throwing a RkCrawler, a wiggle wart, or the 6 Sense bait. So I have a couple other baits in here. You know, fat-free shads and a little deeper, you know, Series 4, a couple other random baits. But really, that kind of wraps up the box here. And like I said, most of the colors, you know, looking through the colors of the box, you know, it's crawdad, 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 and I have a couple, 3 rows of more shad style baits. But, you know, if you're from Missouri watching this, or even if you're from another state, you know, Missouri waters, Lake of the Ozarks, Truman, you know, Stockton, Table Rock, those are like really big crawdad crankbait lakes. If you didn't know, most of you guys probably knew that, but you have to have those variety of colors of crawdad because you want to match as close as you can to what the crawdads are looking at that time. Sometime of the year they have more red, sometimes they're more brown, sometimes they're more green, sometimes they have some chartreuse, sometimes they're orange, and so it's kind of just about matching that based on the time of year. So we're going to wrap it up there. Like I said, this one will be a little bit longer, but I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to go over topwater, hard baits, and so be on the lookout for that. And thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, share. If you have any questions about the baits, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer any questions. And then all the links for the baits are going to be down in the description. I linked to Tackle Warehouse. I don't have any sponsorships whatsoever with any company. I just linked to Tackle Warehouse because they have everything. So if you're looking for something, they're most likely going to have it on their site. So that's why I'm linking there. So feel free to ask any questions. Please like, subscribe, and share the videos. If you have any feedback, please let me know. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.